In the Middle East, and in particular in Iran, a remarkable and completely unexpected transformation is taking place. A growing number of Muslims are abandoning Islam and embracing Christianity. This phenomenon, known as the Jesus Revolution, is attracting global attention not only for its spiritual scope, but also for its social, cultural, and political implications. Before proceeding, I ask you all to subscribe and comment with your opinion, or simply with an amen. Let's get back to us. In a country like Iran, deeply rooted in Shiite Islamic traditions and known for its tight control of religious freedoms, this change represents a direct challenge to the foundations of Islamic theocracy. But what is causing this transition? And what are the consequences for Iranian society and the Muslim world at large? Iran is often associated with its role as a bastion of Shia Islam. Known for its rigid religious laws and oppressive presence of morality police, the country has built its political and cultural identity around the enforcement of Islam. However, behind this public image lies a surprising change. According to recent studies, more than 1 million Muslims in Iran have converted to Christianity, a number that represents an unprecedented movement in the country's modern history. This shift is particularly evident in underground churches, where Iranian Christians gather in secret to pray, study the Bible, and share their faith. At the same time, mosques across the country are seeing a dramatic decline in attendance. As many as 50,000 of Iran's 75,000 mosques have been closed due to lack of worshippers. According to Iranian cleric Mohammed Abul Hassan, this is a clear sign of a crisis of faith that is shaking the religious foundations of the nation. The shift of many Iranians from fervent Islamism to a different spiritual quest is the result of a complex series of factors. Among these, three central issues emerge: political disillusionment, the economic crisis, and the desire for personal freedom. The Iranian regime has long portrayed itself as the guardian of Islam and social justice, promising prosperity and morality through Islamic law. However, these promises have been betrayed by decades of corruption, oppression, and mismanagement. Incidents such as the killing of women for minor violations of hijab laws by morality police have sparked outrage both domestically and internationally. These events highlight the regime's harsh and punitive approach, which has alienated a significant portion of the population. A study by the Netherlands-based Gamma Institute found that 80% of Iranians want a democratic system that surpasses the current Islamic theocracy. This figure reflects the growing disconnect between the government and citizens, many of whom see Christianity as a symbolic avenue of rebellion against religious authoritarianism. Economic hardship plays a crucial role in this transition. Iran is facing a devastating economic crisis, with high rates of inflation, unemployment, and poverty. International sanctions combined with domestic mismanagement have impoverished millions of people, leaving them frustrated and without hope. In such a context, the message of Christianity, based on love, forgiveness, and hope, offers a spiritual comfort that many do not find in institutionalized Islam. Christianity is perceived not only as a religious faith, but also as a means to achieve personal and social freedom. For many Iranians, the idea of a personal relationship with God, based on love and compassion rather than control and punishment, represents a spiritual revolution. The Christian message of equality, human rights, and democracy is deeply appealing to those who feel oppressed by the Islamic system. Not surprisingly, the Iranian regime has responded forcefully to the growing number of conversions. Apostasy, abandoning Islam, is severely punished, with penalties ranging from prison to the death penalty. Underground churches are often targeted by authorities who carry out targeted raids to arrest Christian community leaders and discourage the spread of Christianity. Those arrested are subjected to physical and psychological torture in an attempt to force them to renounce their faith. Even after serving their sentences, many remain under close surveillance with restrictions on their freedom of movement and communication. However, despite these risks, the movement continues to grow. This demonstrates the extraordinary resilience and faith of the converts, who see Christianity not only as a religion, but as a life mission. Underground churches are the beating heart of this Jesus revolution. They are small groups of believers who meet in secret, often in modest apartments or private homes, to pray and study the Bible. These gatherings are characterized by deep spiritual intimacy and a strong sense of community. However, the risk of being discovered is always present, and many of these gatherings are interrupted by raids by the authorities. Another key element is digital platforms, which allow Iranian Christians to connect with other communities and access religious resources. Through social media and other technologies, new converts find support, education, and encouragement, fueling the movement's growth. An intriguing aspect of the phenomenon is represented by the dreams and visions of Jesus, reported by many converts. In Islamic culture, dreams have a deep spiritual meaning and are often considered a form of divine communication. For many Muslims, these dreams mark the beginning of a spiritual journey that leads them to Christianity. These experiences, which often include messages of love and compassion, contrast with the image of a punishing and distant God that some perceive in traditional Islam. Iran is not the only country experiencing a wave of conversions. In Afghanistan, Yemen, and even Saudi Arabia, Christianity is gaining ground, despite the dire consequences that this entails. For example, in Afghanistan, Christians live under constant threat of persecution by the Taliban, while in Yemen, Christianity is spreading at nearly double the global average, despite a humanitarian crisis and religious oppression. Even in Saudi Arabia, known for its strict interpretation of Islam, there are signs of greater tolerance. While the situation for Christians remains difficult, there are signs that the government is beginning to consider the possibility of peaceful coexistence with other faiths. What is happening in Iran and other Middle Eastern countries is part of a larger spiritual movement that challenges cultural and religious conventions. The Christian faith, with its universal message of redemption, is reaching the hearts of people living in contexts of oppression, injustice, and despair. This movement is not just a matter of personal faith, but is having a profound impact on the social and cultural fabric of the region. For many, Christianity represents a new hope, a way to overcome the difficulties of daily life and find a deeper connection with God. Iran's Jesus revolution is a sign of a broader shift that could transform the spiritual landscape of the Middle East. Despite repression, Christians in Iran and other Muslim countries continue to grow in number and faith, proving that the desire for spiritual and personal freedom is stronger than any oppression. This silent revolution is a testament to the power of faith and the universal human desire for love, justice, and freedom. The road is long and full of challenges, but the message of Christianity offers a hope that even the toughest barriers cannot extinguish.